and I'm going to be showing you my ideas for what I call the player-creature system. The player-creature system allows players to take control of creatures in normal leveling zones, during events, and during special mayor-created sieges or raids. Not only does this make leveling for players more exciting, it could break up the monotony of grinding the same mobs in the same areas. Players who participate in the player-creature system as creatures can earn titles, achievements, and cosmetics for your character as well as your homestead, such as the Goblin Totem that was used in one of your live streams. I believe it is important that your main character cannot become more powerful through this system through experience or gear. So how does this system work? Through alchemy, or possibly other means, characters can craft a Flask of Nightmares. They can then add final ingredients to the flask and create what nightmares the flask contains, such as a Flask of Nightmares, Dreams of a Zombie Horde, which I will demonstrate. Once a Flask of Nightmares, Dreams of a Zombie Horde is consumed, a player's main character will fall asleep, and when they awake, they will be in control of an eerie glowing green orb in the chosen area known as their hunting grounds. This orb is invisible to other players and allows the creature to scout their hunting grounds until they find a player. This Zombie Horde Dream is a relatively easy and quick player creature to play and complete. Once a player is found, the player creature can use their Rise ability and create 10 zombies in a radius around the orb. The zombies will then attack the closest player. The only other ability the player creature will have during this is Lurch, which increases the speed of your zombies. While our player creature continues searching the hunting grounds, we find a player outside of one of the popular grinding areas in this graveyard. I approach, and then use Rise to summon my zombies. The zombie horde closes in on the player and begins attacking. Once my last zombie is dead or a time limit elapses, my player creature is complete, and I awake from the dream. I'm then awarded with Dream Dust on how well I did for the tasks. Now I will describe additional gameplay possibilities with the player creature system, and that is a Cauldron of Nightmares. A Cauldron of Nightmares is the same as a Flask of Nightmares, except a cauldron allows players to group together as player creatures. Multiple players can drink from the cauldron and awake together in a hunting ground. These can be simple, such as 5 players all spawning zombies at once, which I believe would be an absolutely terrifying and fun situation to happen while I was leveling, to complex, such as a goblin raiding party consisting of multiple types of goblins, more quest tasks to complete, and a longer time limit on how long they could stay in the player creature form. A sample goblin raiding party game document is included in my resume. Players can use their Dream Dust at a Dream Seer. The Dream Seer is an optional addition mayors can add to their node. At the Dream Seer, players can spend their Dream Dust on the achievements, titles, and cosmetics that were discussed earlier. Players can also find tasks and quests at the Dream Seer, some random and some chosen by the mayor. The tasks chosen by the mayor can be simple or they can be more complex. An example of a more complex quest would be the player creature goblins attempting to destroy a grain silo. When started by the mayor, the targeted node will be warned about the impending grain silo raid. They will have to defend their grain silo over a 30-minute timer. Successfully destroying the grain silo would give the player creatures more Dream Dust and at the same time give a proximity-based debuff to that area, such as Hungry, a negative 10% movement speed debuff, or Pillaged, resources in this area are more scarce. This encourages a node's players to defend their grain silo for more than just leveling and the experience and fun of it. Also, this provides an alternative to player character PvP for one node to weaken another node. It is important to note that no normal player creatures will be as strong as a player character of the same level. Player creatures are meant to add excitement and danger to the player leveling experience, but not outright 1v1 kill them. With that in mind, let's look at another type of player creature. This is the Goblin Shaman. Goblin Shaman is a more complex player creature than the zombie horde last shown. The Goblin Shaman has 4 abilities. These abilities are not meant to kill players with pure damage, they are meant to cause players to play differently, focusing totems and having to move out of dangerous zones. Hex of Weakness creates a void on the ground that reduces damage dealt by players while they are within an area. Summon Healing Totem places a totem that provides a healing buff to nearby goblins. Plague Cloud creates a cloud of poisonous gas that deals damage over time to enemies within the area. And Voodoo Bolt fires a bolt of dark energy that deals damage and slows the target. I created these abilities without knowing what abilities have already been created. But because player creatures are meant to be part of the surrounding hunting grounds, already created art assets and abilities can be reused, saving time and work. While running around my hunting grounds, I approach a goblin war drum. The war drum can be destroyed by players, but as of right now, the war drum is functioning. If it was destroyed, a player creature can rebuild it with a channeling use function. Playing the goblin war drum can be part of a series of tasks for a player creature goblin. While I play the drum, all goblins in a large radius around the war drum begin to dance to the music, while at the same time receiving a damage and speed increase. Every 5 seconds the drum is played, the goblins grow stronger and stronger. Play characters hearing the drum being played will want to hurry over and attempt to kill the player creature goblin and destroy the war drum.